whatever is going on at Wigan right now isn't working. Has done basically nothing yet this year. Warrington just weren't asked. Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to 10 Yards Back with me, Jim. How are we doing? Welcome back also to the set. I'm live. I'm on set. There's no more green screen. No more of my head disappearing into clouds of room. I'm here, I'm live, I'm on set, and I'm ready to talk about round 9, baby, of the Betfred Super League 2026. We've got some really good fixtures in round 9, but tonight I'm going to talk about Friday Night Lights, because we've got a couple of really good ones. Now, Thursday's good as well, but if I'm honest, not as compelling as Friday and Saturday. Friday, we've got Leeds versus Catalans, Warrington versus Wigan, Castleford versus Hull FC. All teams that are kind of at, well, if not at their best right now, at least as good as each other. So a lot of good matchups. You know, Leeds versus Catalans. Catalans did a number on Warrington last week. Warrington and Wigan both kind of reeling. Castleford and Huddersfield just looking for those wins, aren't they? Just really looking for those wins. So the game I'm going to focus on in this video is Warrington versus Wigan, Friday night, 8 o'clock. Now, they're all 8 o'clock games, which unfortunately means the other games are probably going to get ruined for you by the Sky commentary team. But don't let that put you off. Don't slag off Sky. Don't say a goddamn bad word about the broadcast partners at Sky, because they bring us those lovely games, don't they? Those 7 games a week on broadcast and digital. This is a good one. Now, Wigan versus Warrington is a game that you'd watch every week if it was available, which it isn't because no more loop fixtures. You'd watch it every week because there's a subtle rivalry between these teams. They're teams that always believe they should be at the top of the league, even if they aren't. And this game in particular holds quite a lot of weight because, well, if Warrington win, A, they get to put that loss behind them. B, they get to prove, like, I've still got my head, even after the whole Steve McNamara debacle that's unfolded this week. He's going to Hull FC next year. But also, if Warrington win on Friday, there's a possibility they'll go second in the table, which is great because they're currently 4th, I think, so they can bunny up 2 places there. Wigan, boy, they just need a win, don't they? Like, if we look at both teams' performance over the past five weeks. So Warrington have won 3 out of the last 5, losing to Leeds and Catalans. Wigan have lost their last. Now, would take the cup out of it. Wigan have lost their last 3, and they should really have lost the cup game, I think. One of those tries they scored in the 24-22, I think it was, victory, was just because someone started a fighting back play and everyone was distracted, and then I think it was Adam Kieran just jogged over. Oh no, it was Brad O'Neill, was it? Just jogged over and scored a try. But anyway, so Wigan have been losing, and they haven't been losing by 1 point. They've been losing by quite a lot. So both teams kind of looking for a jump in form here. Something I thought when I was looking at this is bloody good on York. Look at them. I mean, lost by 8 points to Warrington, but I almost turned that off 20 minutes in because they were 18-0 down, and did 1 point in it with Wigan against York. So good on York. Sips. Now, the stats, sort of self-explanatory, kind of down the middle. These two teams are 4th and 5th in the league, and therefore are quite close in performance. Scoring loads of points on average because they've both really put a couple of teams away early on in the campaign. Work rate, tackles, meters, about the same. Warrington just pipping them, and I think, I always think about teams with an identity, what the identity of teams are, and I think Warrington, for a long time now, particularly this year, is that they can absolutely carve up the meters if they're on offer. So Having 100 metres extra is absolutely understandable. Runs from dummy half. This is an interesting one because I think that everyone's impressed with Danny Walker these days and last year. And I think that if Jez Litton wasn't Jez Litton right now, Danny Walker would be everyone's shoe-in for hooker. So no one's surprised that he's doing quite a lot there in the middle. Only 3 for Brad O'Neill at Wigan because I've been quite impressed by him. So I was quite surprised to see that there's only the 3 on average runs from dummy half there. Kicks, all about the same. So what does this game come down to? I think ultimately, if you look at the Warrington side that I've listed here, it's basically 1 to 13. In fact, I think that is 1 to 13 with the exception of James Bentley comes in the second row. There. So he's not in the starting 13. I'm putting him in my starting 13 because I can't even think who that is now. Is injured. All right. Good pack. Luke Thomas, young lad, doing well. Liam Byrne, of course, former Wigan, will be looking to put on a good show. Joe Philbin, bit of a battering ram at the minute. And Kalepi Tanganoa, big fucking guys, This Warrington team is a bit of a luxury team. They've got class, they've got talent all over. I mean, they're kind of fallen into they've got a perfect blend of experience and youth. Like Josh Thewlis, for example, standing up on Toby King is great. Like it works so well. Toby King's always there for a tough try, but Josh Thewlis is there to just run away with it if there's ever a longie on the go. Similarly, on the other side, Matty Ashton. I think Super League has really missed Matty Ashton. I know that Warrington has, because you forget, because he's so ugly, you forget how good he is, don't you? And he is really, really good. The amount of times he picks your pocket and just runs a full lengther is incredible. At the Wigan side, I had a bit of fun with this before. I put this together before I knew what the teams were going to be or what the squad sheets were going to be, and so I had a bit of fun with this. And I was thinking, whatever is going on at Wigan right now isn't working, so they need to change it up. Personally, I think that Jay Field is kind of, he's sort of going like, oh, well, this just doesn't work. No, you just give me the ball and I score a try. That's how this works. Last week, he got tackled over the try line, under the sticks over the try line, by Ravalawa, who has done basically nothing yet this year. I just don't think certain players in this Wigan team are up for it anymore. So I looked at the possibilities here, and I thought I'll have a bit of fun here. So Noah Hodgkinson, when he's been on, in Jay Field's absence in the fullback, he did wonderful stuff. So I put him at fullback and moved Jay Field to the wing. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Because that then allows you to put Eckersley in at standoff. He was great fullback in those couple of games he played last year. Made his debut at fullback for Wigan. Jack Farriman, great halfback. Anyway, and you're kind of shuffling up. You're getting that youth in there. You're injecting that youth. However, this was before I realised that Jake Wardle was back, and in all likelihood, the team sheet is just going to look like this. It's going to be much of a muchness because Jake Wardle's back, which frees up Liam Farrell. December's back. Ethan Havard is back. They've got quite a lot in there, and it's about time, I think, for Wigan because, like I said, it hasn't been working. You've got Sam Esse starting, and really he's not a starter. So, I was sort of looking at who the hell can they start at prop, because you can't start Mago, you can't start Esse. You're almost blunting those instruments if you start them. But luckily we got Thompson and we got Ethan Havard up for grabs. I think it might not turn out. They're on the squad list. Who knows if he'll take the field? I've been messing around this week with putting some stats together on where the effort areas are within teams, where the success areas are within these teams. And if we look at the backs here, like I said, my view on Warrington's identity is that they are a team that can just chew up the meters. You know, they got Matty Ashton, Thewlis, Kai Taylor ready, even Toby King and Hobawate can run. But I always forget how fast George Williams actually is. Once he's got space in front of him, he can bloody run. So that's basically the whole of the back line of Warrington are good to go. And look how many more meters that the backs of Warrington make 20 meters on average per game more than the Wigan ones do. The average gain per set is about a meter more. I would say, sorry, per carry is about a meter more. You magnify that over a game, and that spells Warrington are just getting down there faster, more often and faster than Wigan are. On the other hand, if you look at the forwards, the Wigan forwards are absolutely battering the Warrington forwards. I mean, if you look at, meters, okay, fine, whatever, but they're all putting in more carries, which means they're all doing more work. Number of offloads, all right, slightly more. You know, I think that, to be honest, it doesn't matter how many on average, just having Mago in the middle with his offloading ability is such a threat that it makes your defence panic in general. Anyway, missed tackles, okay. Ooh, the Wigan forwards are kind of holding their hands up there. So for me, this spells out. I think Warrington will win this game, and it's for exactly the reason I said. They've got that secret weapon at the minute that we're going to kind of lacking, in that they can just chew up the meters. Wigan on Friday aren't going to have the kicking ability of Harry Smith. They're going to have to rely on probably Faramond and probably Kieran, maybe potentially. I don't know. So that whole sort of deep kicking, control in the game side has been taken off Wigan. They can't really do that anymore, which means that Warrington are going to be getting good ball in, unpredictable territory. But the one thing that Warrington do well is work out of territory and turn bad territory into good territory. The one caveat for this is that last week against Catalans, Warrington just weren't asked. None of them were really asked. Like, a lot of those tries, like 2 of those Lewis Dodd tries in the second half, both of the Lewis Dodd tries in the second half, you had the likes of Walker and Thewlis just sort of watching him go by and just like, oh, okay, oh, shit, all right, another try, all right, that's it. And I don't know if they're out on the piss the night before, if they knew what was coming with the Steve McNamara thing, maybe they're all bummed out, but it seemed like last week only George Williams was trying for Warrington against Catalans. Maybe wrong, I don't know. I think they've got it. All that is to say that if Wigan show up and Wardle's fresh-legged, man, he hasn't played all year, he comes on and he scores a try, and then they bring Mago on and he's got that offload and he's confusing them. Warrington, as we know, secondary identity is that they can drop their heads very easily. So let's hope that's not the case. 26-18, my predictions for the Warrington Wigan game. Other games on Friday night, Leeds vs Catalans. Leeds, I think, will take that. But if you are watching that game, I think there's a really good battle potential there between Lewis Dodd and Jake Connor. The two scrum halves, both fancy themselves kickers, both fancy themselves rangy kickers and control the game. I would say Jake Connor's got that, but let's see how Lewis Dodd does. Let's see if he can step up to the plate a little bit there, okay? Castleford Hull FC, I think Hull FC are just going to pip it, but I will probably watch this one on Saturday morning with the kids, and I'm looking forward to it. Castleford look game. Hull FC look like they really want to prove a point that they've come very far with Cartwright despite the injuries. So I think that's a good one. All right, enjoy your Friday night lights. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Make friends in the comments, and enjoy the rugby.